Well, hello, students. I hope you're having a fantastic day and welcome to another episode of Parlay with Jay. This is an A-2 English listening practice video. I will have some key vocabulary word explanations at the end of today's story. If you want longer story lessons, be sure to follow the links in the description to study my other English lessons. Use this video to practice your listening skills and to strengthen your fluency and comprehension as I speak. Today, I will read a story that I put together called The Broken Leg. Rashad was 45 years old and hadn't tried skateboarding in years. One sunny afternoon, he watched his son Brett skate in the park. Brett was only 10, but already good at doing tricks on his skateboard. It doesn't look too hard, Rashad thought to himself. "Hey, Dad, want to try?" Brett asked with a big smile. Rashad hesitated for a moment, but then nodded his head. "Sure, why not? I used to be pretty good when I was younger," he replied confidently. Brett handed him the skateboard, and Rashad carefully stepped onto it. At first, he was doing okay, just rolling slowly. But then he tried to push off a bit faster, just like his son Brett. The skateboard wobbled, and before Rashad knew it, he had hit the ground. He felt a sharp pain in his leg. "Ouch! That hurt," Rashad groaned. Brett quickly ran over to him. "Dad, are you okay?" he asked with worry in his voice. His father, Rashad, tried to stand up, but his leg wouldn't let him. The pain was too much. They ended up going to the hospital, where the doctor told Rashad that he had broken his leg. "You'll need a cast for a few weeks," the doctor said. As Rashad lay in the bed later that night, he could not help but laugh a little. "I guess skateboarding isn't as easy as it looks," he thought. Brett sat beside him, feeling a bit guilty. "I'm sorry, Dad. I shouldn't have let you try," he said. Rashad smiled and shook his head. "Don't worry about it, Brett. It was my idea. But I think I'll stick to watching you from now on." For the next few weeks, Rashad watched Brett skate from the safety of a park bench, happy to let his son be the professional. Even though he was hurt, Rashad was glad he tried something new, even if it didn't go as planned. You know, life is full of surprises. Sometimes there are things that you think you can handle, but when you get into it, you find out that it was more serious than you originally thought. And sometimes we find this out after we have lost money, injured ourselves, or damaged good relationships. But like Rashad, it's always good to try something new. Let's go over a few vocabulary words from today's story, The Broken Leg. One word that was mentioned in the story is hesitate. To hesitate means to pause before doing something, usually because you're unsure. So for example, Rashad hesitated before trying the skateboard because he wasn't sure if he could do it. Another form of hesitate is hesitation. And so you might say in a sentence, I notice a slight bit of hesitation in your response. So remember, to hesitate simply means to pause or to think about something before you do it because you're usually unsure. Another word that you should familiarize yourself with is confidently. Confidently means to do something with certainty or belief in yourself. Rashad replied to his son confidently when he told Brett that he could skateboard, even though he hadn't done it in years. Another word that is important to know when you consider today's story is wobbled. Wobbled. Wobbled means to move unsteadily from side to side. I want you to remember in the story, the skateboard wobbled when Rashad tried to push off faster. And of course, because the skateboard wobbled, this is why he fell to the ground. Another word that is key in the story is groaned. To groan is to make a deep sound in response to pain or discomfort. Rashad groaned when he felt the sharp pain in his leg after falling. And finally, an important vocabulary word from today's story is cast. Now, cast can be used in a number of ways. When you go fishing, you cast a line into the lake or the water. But cast in this story is a hard protective shell that doctors put around a broken bone to help it heal. After Rashad broke his leg, for example, the doctor said he would need a cast for a few weeks. That's going to do it for today's listening lesson. I've read my story, The Broken Leg. Have you ever broken a bone, an ankle, or maybe twisted your ankle? Maybe you were doing a sport, or maybe you were like me, just getting older and your body is changing and you did something that was normal, but your body reacted in another way. Well, I hope you have enjoyed today's listening exercise, as well as learned some new vocabulary words. That's going to do it for today's lesson. Be sure to share it with a friend that is trying to improve their English. And as always, I hope you join me on my next English lesson.